Hey there, Dangar here. Sorry I haven't posted any videos for a while. Been on holidays, been in Greece doing some sailing, which is really nice. It's nice to get back on water and interestingly just doing some sort of ocean cruising sort of really reminded me why you learn a lot of sort of navigation skills, lights and stuff you don't use when you're just sort of putting around the Hawkesbury River. So I'm looking forward to doing some videos on those sort of techniques and skills and things down the track. But in the meantime, I'm just going to do a real quick tip video at the moment. Then straight after that, I'm going to go on actually and do a teardown on this outboard. So if you're interested in seeing the parts of an outboard, watch out for that video next. But this one's just on securing an outboard. And the reason that's kind of important is twofold. Where we are, boats live in the water. It's not a high crime area by any stretch of the imagination, but outboards do get stolen. So it's a bit on actually securing it, like locking an outboard onto a transom. But also just when people put outboards on, they also just don't often, if it's not a bolted through, if it's more, this is more for smaller outboards, if it's just got these sort of threaded clamps you tighten up, they can actually vibrate their way loose. So it's important to sort of lock those to prevent against sort of malicious theft as well as just vibration. I've definitely heard of at least 5 situations where, more so with new outboards, people sort of tighten them, maybe not enough, the vibration in the outboard winds them loose and the outboard sort of pops over the transom. So just a quick tip, I'll just show you what I do to try and help with that problem, and then we'll get on with the next video and do the teardown on this exact same motor. So all outboards of this size have some sort of clamping mechanism onto the transom, normally just winding these sorts of pegs around. So make sure you do them up tightly. Once there's a little bit of tension on the threads, the bolts sort of stretch a little bit, and it's all that stretch of the metal that holds things together. But what I do, when I get them round to being tight, I'll just grab an ordinary padlock, and they'll always have holes, and you can just come up through, down through the other one, and this padlock's a bit old and rusty, hope it still closes, hard one-handed, got there in the end. 2 things. One is you can't actually now easily take this outboard off. Once you've got the key out, you need to unwind these, and you can't unwind them while they're locked to each other. So it'll prevent them vibrating loose, and it'll also prevent somebody actually, without cutting the padlock, actually taking off with the motor. Okay, yes, obviously you can, smash these with a hammer or whatever, but it just stops a bit of casual, a casual attempt to steal the motor rather than a real concerted effort. And probably more important, it stops it vibrating off. Be aware though that you do need to sort of lubricate these, because sitting around, if a boat's in salt water a lot, when you do want to come and take the motor off yourself, these padlocks can be very, very hard to undo if they've been sitting around in salt air for a long time. So make sure you use a bit of like a silicone or a dry graphite sort of spray that you use for locks. And also, if you just put a new motor on, you've got these tightened up, and you're only really concerned about the vibration, just use a cable tie or something. Cable tie is more than strong enough just to stop these vibrating their way loose. You don't actually need to lock it if you're not worried about that. But when you do go to get padlock, obviously, just make sure you measure the diameter of these and the distance between them so you can buy a padlock that's suitable. So thanks for watching. Just a very quick tip today. As I said, we'll get on and strip this down now, so if you want to see all the different parts of an outboard, check out that video as well. If you want to see more and more videos like this, please subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.